Good morning, dear students. So in this PPT, I will explain about the different types of spring which are used for the vehicles. Okay, suspension I already told. Suspension is nothing but it is a system of a tires, air, spring, shock absorber, and linkage that connects to the vehicle to its wheel and allow the relative motion between the two. Okay, now that's about the suspension definition. So next, suspension systems. They are mainly used for the there are three different of springs are used. First one is a leaf spring, second one is a coil spring, and third one is a torsion bar which are using to control the up and down motion, to run the smooth steering to the driver, and bouncing of an wheel or up and down motion of a vehicle to control all those things. These are the springs are used in an automobile. Okay, now first one is a coil spring, leaf spring. Coil spring, leaf spring. Let me understand first leaf spring. Okay. So leaf spring, it consists of a many. It is a leaf spring. It consists of a number of steel plates, and these are commonly used in automobile rear suspension system. And these leaf are held together at a center by a bolt, which passes through a holes in a leaves as shown in the here diagram. So here there are two major ends. One is left hand side, right hand side. Left hand side is called as a shackle, and this side, another side, is called as a spring hanger. The spring leaf are of graduated length as shown in figure. Here I shown in the figure. Okay, the front end of the largest leaf is bent into a circle from the spring eye and is attached to the spring hanger by a bolt. Okay, and the main function of this leaf springs are to absorb the vibration and thus to prevent it from the getting up to the vehicle frame. That is the main function of this, and it will also allow the spring eye to the twist back and forth as leaf spring bend. Okay, now so here some important point I listed here. It is used for many number of vehicles application, and internal friction provide the damping and provide the lateral location for the axle, and heavy vehicles it is used. And leaf springs are now limited to the rear some cars also. Okay, now as the spring is pushed upward or downward, the bump or holes in the road, that it may distance between the two spring eye changes. Okay, now to control it, the shackle acts as a swing supports to permit this as a length. So the main purpose of this leaf spring used in automobile is to control the vibration damping, and it is also used to control the stiffening of the road and the wheel. And mainly it is used for the heavy loaded carrying vehicles. This is about the leaf spring. Okay, now next one is coil spring. As compared to leaf spring, coil springs are used for only the low amount of load carrying vehicles. Okay, now and here some of point I discussed here. See the little to no internal damping. Here damping, as compared to that, it will control little bit, and as compared to that, it is a low cost and it is very compact size, used in many suspension types. Coil spring is most common type of spring found in the modern vehicles, and coil spring is also called as helical coil spring. Nowadays the coil springs have become a very popular because of the limitation involved in the leaf spring. It is in this system, the coil spring is held between a spring seat in a car or frame and lower control the arm. The inner end of the control arm are pivoted on the car frame. The outer end are connected to the steering knuckle. So during running motion, the ball joints used to allow the steering knuckle to swing to the left or right for the steering. Okay, now the wheel are mounted from the left to right, pivoted from the front wheel, so that the car can be steered smoothly. And it is mainly used for carrying low capacity load carrying load. Okay, now that's about the main function of an coil spring. Next one is a torsion bar. Torsion bar, it is also a type of suspension. So this is also uh, used in all the vehicle. Okay, all the vehicle. The large spring rod, it is acts like a large spring rod. So one end is attached to the frame and other end is lower the control the arm up and down of the suspension system to steady the torsion bar. The third one in, it will then try to return to its original shape, move to the control arm to its original shape. It is like an elastic body. As shown in the diagram, see here, the driver is forwarding back and downward. Okay, now it is a simple rod which is acts as a torsion and takes stress only, and it stores some amount of energy per unit weight of the coil spring. Torsion bar is often used with an independent suspension system. Okay, now the main disadvantage of this torsion bar is it does not take any driving torque, or it will not take any braking system. That's about the torsion bar. So here the same diagram I shown here. So shock absorber, that is the same, it is a another word is called as a damper. A shock absorber is a mechanical device designed to smooth out or damp shock impulse and dissipate the kinetic energy during running the vehicle or moving the vehicle. It will dissipate some amount of energy, and it will limit the spring compression extension also. So without shock absorber, the vehicle would continue bounce up and down long after sticking dip or hump in the road. So without this, the vehicle cannot move the up and down. The last one is the air suspension system. So this is most important question in the university. This question may ask repeatedly for your examination. Okay, now air, or it is a pneumatic suspension system. It is incorporated in some tourist buses to improve the riding comfort of the passenger. Okay, now air suspension is a type of vehicle suspension powered by an electric or engine driven air pump or compressor. This compression pumps of the air into a flexible bellows, usually made up of textile reinforced rubber, and this in turn of inflate the bellows and raises the chassis from the axle. Normally this is used in a AC buses, that is normally in Volvo buses nowadays. In Bangalore, Volvo buses are there, that Volvo buses this air suspension system is here adapted. The main function of the main advantage of using a suspension system is it improves the riding comfort to the passenger, and it will provide the long service life of the vehicle due to improved smoothness of the run, and the changes in the headlamp alignment due to the change in the load are avoided. These are the main function of an air suspension system. So this is the layout of an air suspension system. Okay, now the main advantage of this is this maintains the constant frequency of an vibration whether the vehicle is up and down or laden or unladen. Constant frame height is maintained. Frame height is maintained. We will not manufacture our own frame, so that some standard height will be we have to maintain. It helps to reduce the load while the vehicle in motion, that is we can turn while standing in a around 280 degrees. It gives a smooth and comfort ride of the vehicle. Also the stiffness of the system increases with increase in the deflection places. So common air suspension problem, some while running the vehicle, some common problem also will occur in the air suspension vehicle due to the old age or the moisture within the air system that damages them from the inside. Okay, na airbag, that is called as airbag or air strut. Compressor failure during running vehicle, the primary due to leaking air spring or air strut. If the leaking of air spring breakdown, it will compressor also failure. So that is vice versa. Compressor burnout may also be caused moisture from the within the air system coming into the contact with its electric parts. Okay, now these are the some common air suspension problem. And how to check the shock absorber condition, whether it is correct or wrong. Okay, now our how means by doing bounce test. Push down, take your car, go to corner near to headline, push down one corner of the vehicle body and release the body and count the number of times of the vehicle rebounds if good, no more than the two rebound, and if it is only good manner means no more go to rebound. If it is not means you understand that it is a leaking shock. Check for the sign of the leakage if the oil and wet replace it. See the diagram. So if you push down that back side of the front, it go little, and leakage if takes place, then you observe that it is there is some problem in the vehicle. Okay, now I hope you understand this different types of spring which are used in the suspension system of an automobile. Okay, now thank you.